this off with OpenAI and Deepseek. So a lot of rumors in the Xverse and on Reddit and a whole lot of places. So I did what I do best. I took all of those rumors. I kind of looked at them holistically and I said, what's real, what's not. And then I went through mainstream media. And the reason I go through mainstream media like the Wall Street Journal, they don't always get it right, but they definitely have an ear. I should know. In my last company, not the one I'm at now, Wall Street Journal was almost single-handedly responsible for the company going out of business. So I would know a little bit about the power of Wall Street Journal reporters. So OpenAI is now actively investigating the Chinese artificial intelligence startup DeepSeek, sorry, and how it trained its new chatbot by querying the US company's AI models. The company said Wednesday it has seen various attempts by China-based entities to exfiltrate large volume of data from its AI tools, likely to train their own models in a technical process called distillation. OpenAI said it has banned the accounts, but it's suspected of distilling its models and has worked with Microsoft, an OpenAI partner that hosts its models, to identify the actors behind those attempts. DeepSeek apparently is among those that OpenAI is looking into, according to people familiar with the matter. Now, Microsoft and OpenAI won't say more to that issue. I reached out to a friend of mine who I know who's got intimate knowledge of this world, and he said it's not far-fetched for Chinese to steal IP. He also said there was a lot of turnover at OpenAI early on. And so that turnover of those tools and then the publicity of the people leaving there could have been used to leverage those folks speaking to different media entities to gain information that may not be otherwise publicly available to people who are not associated with OpenAI. That's also something someone said, that this could be kind of a larger scale. And now you might say that's impossible, but China's in this for the long game. I've constantly said it on the show, and I'll say it again and again and again. China is the number one threat to global stability and to the capital and economic growth of the US in general, right? So we know that DeepSeek is very much, everyone uses the Tiananmen Square example, but there's plenty of others where when you ask DeepSeek questions, it just doesn't give you an answer, or it gives you a propaganda-based answer that you would see in a communist indoctrination camp, right? Ask it about Uyghurs, and it says China doesn't have a Muslim population, which we all know to be false, because these Uyghurs are going through camps. They're being retrained. They're used as slave labor. And in many cases, they're not released, or if they are released, they're released under like strict conditions, and they're abused and people are getting killed. I mean, all of this is happening in China, yet no one's talking about it. Yet, when you tune into the trusted news networks, and I say it with parentheses, you don't hear these stories. Ask yourself why, because the economic interest there. China has an economic interest in trying to weaken the AI model. It's part of a larger negotiation tactic and leverage that they're trying to assume over the incoming administration and its hawkish stance on China. And so they're trying to issue warning shots in order to gain leverage. President Trump announced with Larry Ellison and SoftBank and OpenAI Sam's Altman the 100 billion up to 500 billion investment in AI data centers. A week later, not even over the weekend, China fires off its opening shot, its opening salvo, DeepSeek AI. It's all interconnected, and if you don't believe so, then I urge you to reach out, and I'll gladly, because I don't have enough time on today's show to do this, but I'll gladly give you the deep dive. Maybe I'll do a whole episode on it. This is all part of that. Cyber warfare, cybersecurity, data breaches, ransomware attacks, economic impact, all a greater part of a bigger, they're all a small piece in a bigger puzzle around economic dominance, IP theft, corporate espionage, and so much more. And so that's what we're seeing here with this DeepSeek OpenAI and this investigation. And mind you, if this comes true, if this does happen, if this proves to be correct, let's say they did train off of OpenAI. Let's say they were able to acquire NVIDIA chips needed for this model, and they're not saying it because they don't want the party that bought those chips to essentially face the wrath of the DOJ for violating sanctions and executive orders issued by the previous administration on the security of these AI chips. Man, oh man, you're talking about a diplomatic mess, folks. Diplomatic mess. So something to keep in mind there.